Perfect. So this is the Speak with Jack English Foundation course for children aged 7 to 13, level A1 going into level A2. And Jack is a 10-year-old boy living in the UK. And throughout the program, he tells us all about his life. There are 15 units, and in each unit, he uses a specific vocabulary and certain grammatical constructs. And the idea is that it's meant to be something which is useful for children in terms of the comprehensiveness of the course, but at the same time is fun and interactive so that they enjoy doing it. It also covers all the 4 main skills of reading, writing, listening, and especially speaking, which we've put quite a lot of effort into trying to help children speak as much as you can using a platform. And it can be used by children either on their own or together with a teacher, either an online teacher or a school teacher. So if we start by looking at how the platform is structured, we see there are 15 units, and it goes through what would be required in A1 and to some extent A2. So we cover the present simple tense and the present continuous, as well as the past simple tense, and there's about 1,000 new words that the children learn here. It's all based on this text, and the text is Jack talking about his life, and he uses words and phrases, as we said, that are useful. And the way he does it, if children were just even to copy themselves, saying that they were to read the text out loud and to remember it off by heart, they would already know a lot of English. That's how we kind of developed it. And in each unit, therefore, is taken from the vocabulary used in this text. So what happens is we go into unit 1, and in unit 1, as you can see, it's clearly saying what is going to be learned here. Now, this is the English only version. It's not for Spanish speakers or any other specific type of speaker. We do have one in Arabic, and we are looking to translate it in loads of other languages, but for now it's English only. So it would be very useful for tutors. Children can use it on their own, but with some guidance in terms of especially the instructions that are a bit more difficult to understand. But most of it is very child friendly. So if we go into the video, this is Jack talking. I have to do this.
Hi, hello, how are you?
Just need to check, can you hear the sound? Okay, amazing.
How's it going? I'm fine, thanks. It's nice to meet you. My name is Jack. What's your name? I am a boy. I am not a girl. And I am 10 years old. How old are you? Do you speak English? Yes or no? I speak English well. I don't know you. We don't know each other. But I want to tell you about my life. Do you want to hear about it? Do you have time? Good. Let's begin.
So the children can watch that many times, and they've obviously got the text as well. If we just take a look at unit 2, I'll show you a little bit of the video just to get a sense of what we go into next. So that's just Jack talking, but here we see his house and his family. Just got to make sure it starts from the beginning.
With my family in a white house on a long street in a small town near a big city in a country called... Where are you from? Where do you live? And who's in your family? These are my parents. This is my father. He is married. And this is my mother. I have one brother and 2 sisters. I also have 3 grandparents, a grandfather and 2 grandmothers, 4 uncles, 5 aunts, and many others.
And there he goes through his whole life, really, in all the different videos. So if we go back to unit 1, we'll see that all of the text vocabulary is supported by all the various features that we have here, so that the children not only learn that vocabulary, but are extended as well. So for example, here there's a text and audio that they can just listen to.
Hi, hello, how are you?
It's actually a little bit slower than and then the video, and just about the right pace. So then we also got questions, and here the children need. Sorry, if you do this, then you come back, it takes you to the same place. But this starts from here. So Unit 1, questions, and then the children can write down their own information here, as you can see here, and it's got audios.
What's your name? How old are you? Do you speak English?
And if you do that, then you get points, and then you get points over here on a score sheet, and you also have a grade score that's in here, and the teacher can also see all of their students' grades as well. And I'm happy to show you that a bit later. So there are different types of questions that they've got, match up questions, pictures, and then for example here they have to listen, they have to drag it, and so that's the questions. Then we've got the drills, and here the children learn how to conjugate. So how am I, how are you, how is he, how is she, how are we, etc. And they can listen to all of them, etc. Again, then there are questions as well. So that just kind of extends children. Then we've got grammar, and the grammar section is here, starts here. And each grammar section is dealt with in quite a light way to match up the correct ones. And then same kind of thing here. You have to, the teacher can explain this, and then there's a task that needs to be done where you listen and drag it. But that's the general idea. Then we've got here is the pronunciation test, and in this the children can actually test the accuracy of their pronunciation from each line of the text. So they can listen to it.
My name is Jack.
And then try it. My name is Jack. Hopefully I got purple. Right. So now if I said my name is Jonathan, my name is Jonathan. So it detects that I didn't do it correctly. So it gives the children some sense. It's quite accurate, and we've done it to make it as, kind of good as possible for the children. So it gives excellent, even though it's not 100. I mean, has to be good enough. But there's percentage scores for this. But essentially, children enjoy doing that. And then we've got a variety of other things, role plays. The children can do. Got the vocabulary. We've got other kind of quizzes, word searches, crosswords. There are games. So for example, here you can go onto a game and it will help you to spell. Games takes a little bit of time to load. And there are games for each unit. There are 4 games. 4 games for each unit. And these have, for example, here's spelling.
It's as an baby.
Etc. And there are 4 different types of games that they can play, spell choice and things like that. And then at the end, there's also an end of unit test, which they can take, and that will give maybe a clearer assessment as to where they're at. And the teacher gets all of the results over here. We do this. So this is where what the student sees. This is the Arabic version. And then this is what the teacher will see. On this one. And you can see here, I can see exactly what they did in the drills, the grammar, verb quiz, end of unit test, all that. So there's 15 units altogether. And the course is essentially, the way we're selling it is as a 4-month course. If you do 1 unit every week. Now, different children obviously will take different amounts of time. It could take 6 months, and it could take even a year if done in school, or it could take less. It really depends on the child. But basically, we offer a subscription for 4 months, would be $35, plus they can do a written and an oral exam, which is another $15, and so altogether $50 essentially. And now when we sell it to schools, or if we sell it in bulk, then we can come to some form of arrangement. And so what we're looking for are people who are online teachers who think this would be useful for their lessons with children of that age group and that level, and also partners, people who want to help us to sell it and promote it. So we already have a few around the world that are going to be doing that. We're going to be launching it with our website fully in about a week and a half's time. So the website is just being finished right now. I'm happy to take any questions that anyone might have.
If you were to buy it as an online product, how much would it be? Would you just, once you'd actually bought it, would you own it, or would you have to subscribe to it?
So we've got you'd be subscribing to it, so you wouldn't own it. Yeah, okay. And so you would subscribe for either a month at a time or 4 months. Those are the kind of two packages we have. We're encouraging people to do the 4 months. So the 1 month is $15 and 4 months is $35. Now, of course, someone could finish it in that time, but the truth is, if you're starting from the beginning, it does take time to learn, to really get to grips with the language. And I think it will take possibly more than 4 months, but might be children together with a teacher who can do that. We have had online tutors using this, and the latest feedback from one of the tutors was that her student now is in the native speaking class in his school, and she says that she thinks that he owes a lot of his improvement to the platform. So that's, I think, encouraging for us. And generally speaking, we have had a number of children and teachers, in different countries who have used it. But now we are looking to sell it. We know that it's all ready, and that's kind of where we're at right now. So I'm just trying to meet teachers at this point, and we're going to market it in other ways. But yeah, so that, happy to have that answer your question. Does anyone else have any other questions? Okay, so you can let me know either way, or you don't have to let me know, obviously, but if you could let me know if you're interested as a teacher to use it with your students, then you could buy it directly from me at the moment. Within a week, or as I said, a week and a half, we'll have the website. If you're interested in being involved as a partner to sell it, you feel like you have connections and people buy it, then we can have a discussion around that. So that's kind of the two things. And then at some point, we're also going to be looking for teachers to teach this program as well. So yeah.
I think it's a good point.
Sorry. Elizabeth, did you say something?
I said I think it's a good product. I think it's possibly more beneficial actually in a school rather than, because a lot of my teaching is one-to-one. And I actually think the interaction of students with one another might be more useful, especially because this seems to be aimed at children. I'm just wondering what kind of age group this is kind of aimed at.
So, as I said, it's 7 to 13-year-olds. And this doesn't need to be the thing that the teacher uses exclusively, obviously, but it's something which the students can use to prepare in advance and to review afterwards. So it's a very useful tool that it shouldn't be exclusively used, but it has, for example, role plays in there that children can do.
I think it is it's a brilliant product. I just wonder whether it is particularly beneficial for online teachers, but it's definitely very useful in school situations.
So I think for online teaching, if you had a student you could run through all the different things with them in the lesson, and all the resources would be there. So in that sense, it's useful for you. Would you mind very much holding on for 1 minute? I've realized that my battery is actually downstairs, and my laptop will kind of run out of battery soon. Would you mind? I'll be back in 1 minute, if that's okay. Oh, actually, sorry, shit. Didn't realize it was there. So. Wonders when you're taking your laptop out. So it's been, I mean, it also in answer to that, it has primarily been used in online teaching. So ultimately, it gives the children something they can do before, during, and after the lesson, and gives the teacher resources. In that sense, it's a useful text, like a useful platform. So, for example, if the child has already practiced the text, I mean, first of all, they can say it to you out loud. I mean, if a child is able to say that to you off by heart after lesson 2, you're doing well, right? And that's basically part of the, it just gives you all the resources. But then, clearly in the lesson, you could do this with them, and they can show you how they did. So children like to see, they particularly like it when they get answers right, obviously. And this platform does it in a nice way, and it makes them feel good. So I think there's a value there. And the value is the fact that this is comprehensive enough that it will help you to get to a certain level.
But I have a question.
Sure. Janet, yeah.
If we get this platform, each of our students get that user to can enter, or only one user to the teacher?
Yeah, the teacher would buy their own, and the students would buy their own. So it would be, everyone would get their own individual account, but their account would be connected to your account. So yeah, the teacher buys and the student buys. So that's where, if we get a lot of tutors interested, then a lot of students will buy, then obviously it makes it interesting for everybody. But it is to be bought. Now, if a tutor wanted to buy a certain number, like a large number, then we could obviously come to an arrangement on that in terms of the price, and that's the same in schools as well. So we're 500 children, they need it for 500 children. We're not going to charge $50 a child, but we'd come to an arrangement around that.
I think that's quite an expensive way of doing it, because if the child has to buy it and the teacher has to buy it, I think I can imagine that would get very expensive. There'll be probably a lot of parents who wouldn't actually buy the product for their child, who would expect the school to provide it. Yeah,
well, obviously, I'm talking about the school, but no. So if the school buys it, they'll buy it on behalf of all their students. But I think Johanna was talking about, if it's an online teacher and they've got a few students, do they have to pay for themselves? And obviously, the teacher could buy it on behalf of the student, obviously. But I don't think the fact that the teacher has to have a.
As an online teacher, what I tend to do is I have the material and I share it with my students. I don't expect my students to have to buy the same resources that I have.
Yeah, but the resources you give them aren't. It's not quite the same as having a whole platform, and that's what basically you're giving them. It's not just a resource; it's an entire framework within which they can measure their progress. And it also, and so therefore it is personal to them. It's personal to their development. And therefore they would want to see how they've done. And children like to see the scores that they've got, and they like the fact that their parents can see that and their teachers can see that, and they can keep trying again until they get it, and things like that. So I think in that sense, it adds a certain sort of different dimension to that.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for joining me today. And I think, you feel free to be in touch with me if you want to, about anything we spoke about today. And yeah, and if you feel like this product will be useful for others, then, you know, and you want to help me to promote it, then let's speak about that. Because as I said, we have a number of partners. Look, we're just starting out, so I'm not surprised it's a relatively small meeting, but we do have very big plans for this. It's just a question of us getting it out there. Once we get it out there, you know, it's going to take on, I think, a different, I mean, it's useful, I think, for people. So
no, it's definitely, it's very useful product.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So yeah, look,
Thank you, Jonathan.
no, you're absolutely welcome. It's lovely to meet you both. And please, as I said, please do, I know we don't know each other, but if you like this and you think, and you want to either to buy it yourself or you want to be involved as a partner, please do be in touch by WhatsApp.
There are definitely a couple of teacher friends of mine who've, because of the time difference, I mean, I think it's about midnight with them. So they're wanting to find out about it and things. So
what I'll do is I can send you the recording.
Oh, good. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
And same with you, Joanna. So look, again, if you want to do this on okay, they're just my friends and I'm going to let them know about it, that's one way you can do this. The other way is to say, okay, you know, if they buy, then consider that a commission for me, and I'd be happy to do that. So you let me know how you want to do that. But certainly from our point of view, we would love to have it shared with as many people as possible, because obviously the more people that see it, the more chance there is that we bought. And we don't expect everybody in the world to use it yet, but we do think that, you know, a lot of children will benefit from this. We spent 3 years on it. I personally speak 6 languages, and so I've actually learned 4 languages on my own, including Español, lo aprendí lo mismo. You know, and the same with Italian and French, Spanish, Arabic, and Hebrew. And so I've been a teacher for 15 years. So I brought all of that into my creation of this, essentially.
Yeah. No, it's very good. I mean, I'll certainly, I mean, if you share this recording in the WhatsApp, I'll certainly pass it on.
Amazing. Yeah,
no, because I think they'll be very interested.
I'll probably put it on my YouTube channel, and then I'll just send the link to the YouTube channel. It's going to have you in it now, Elizabeth and Joanna. So you know, if I make you famous, then, you know, thank me later. If you become infamous, then I'm sorry.
Well, probably if I become infamous, so will you.
Right, exactly. We're in it together now.
All right, then.
Okay, amazing. Lovely. Thank you very much. It's great to meet. I'm going to put this on the group anyway. I'm going to put the whole thing that I recorded, including this. So if you have an issue with that, please let me know afterwards. I could probably edit some stuff out, but, you know, I don't think people are going to watch it all the way to the end anyway.
No, probably not.
They always miss the best bits at the end.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. All right, lovely to meet you guys.
All right, see you soon.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you,
Hasta luego.
Jonathan.
Bye.
Bye. Ciao, Jonathan.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.